Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is Lap Guide for Fuji International Speedway with the MOTUL AUTECH GTR. Let's get this started. Bring yourself to the left and brake just after you pass the 150 meter mark. You'll be braking hard for quite a while here, and then when you want to turn in, you can slowly start to ease off of the brakes. Just make sure you have the car nearly straightened out before you start to fully accelerate. Now go ahead, bring yourself to the right side of the track and look for this little orange marker in between the 150 meter marks. That's your braking point, so you brake hard for a very short moment, quickly ease off of the brakes, just let the car rotate, and then accelerate. Now it is all about throttle control here. Bring yourself to the right side of the track and brake well before you reach the 50 meter mark. You can also use the orange marker as your braking point. Just carefully ease off of the brakes, carefully start to apply the throttle here. For this upcoming turn, you want to brake just after you pass the Dunlop sign that goes over the track. You can also use the moment that the sound of the new sector starts as your braking point. You just want to try to get into the curbs, carefully start to accelerate your way out of these turns. Then just after the grass on the left ends, you want to use some of your braking power, just bring yourself all the way to the inside of the turn, straighten up the car and accelerate. Now as the curb on the left ends, you want to control your braking power. Start off by going a little wide, then bring yourself in, carefully accelerate and bring yourself to the left. Now you're going to repeat that for this final turn where you can go just a little wide, then bring yourself in for a late apex, straighten up the car and start to fully accelerate. But that is all for the lap guide. We'll finish this lap and then we'll go ahead and quickly talk about the strategies. So if you've played Gran Turismo Sport for a while now, and by a while I'm going to say at least half a year, you're probably going to notice that this race has been repeated a couple of times. So this race has been repeated in December of 2019 and in April of 2020 with the number of laps, the fuel multipliers, and the tire wear multipliers being the exact same. The only difference in this case compared to the other two is the slipstream range, since the slipstream compared to what it was back then, it used to be 1.5 seconds and a little bit on the weaker side, but now the slipstream is at 3/4 of a second, and it's going to be a little bit on the stronger side. So when you're behind someone, you're going to notice the car feel a little more understeery, and that is because you're getting the dirty air from the car in front of you. And once again, this is if you are within the 3/4 second gap between yourself and the car ahead of you. So when you're under that slipstream, you do want to be careful with how you navigate through these turns, as the dirty air is going to make your tires wear out even faster. And because of that, you may end up having really worn tires 6 laps into your racing medium stints, and you might want to end up pitting a bit earlier for the racing hard tires. But other than that, everything else compared to the races that we've had in the past, they're pretty much the same. The same strategy is still the best strategy, which is the simple one-stop strategy. You do not have to worry about fuel. This is more of a tire race. And you also need to have the racing hard tires equipped at some point in the race, so it can be at the start of the race or it can be when you pit in for racing hard tires. Just make sure you have them on at some point in the race so you do not get the 20-second penalty that will be applied at the end of the race if you do not use them at all. The 2-stop and the no-stop are possible to pull off here, but they're going to be a lot more difficult. The no-stop, your tires will be really worn out towards the end of the race, so your car is going to become a really sketchy ride to the point where the car wants to constantly try to spin you out. And with the 2-stop, this is where you do 2 6-lap stints on the racing medium tires and only one 1-lap stint on the racing hard tires. While you can get a better pace from the second racing medium tires, you're going to end up spending a bit more time in the pit stop so that can allow those around you to quickly catch up to you and potentially end up passing you. So the no stop and the two stop are more of a gamble here, and the safest bet is going to be the one stop strategy. Oh, and one more thing, the MOTUL AUTECH GTR is going to be the go-to car for this race since it has incredible pace around Fuji International Speedway. I know in December the Nismo GTR was the go-to car, but in between then and now, the Nismo GTR along with the older Super GT cars ended up getting nerfed to the ground, so now it is all about the newer Super GT cars. And here at Fuji, once again, the MOTUL AUTECH GTR is going to be the best car for this race. But anyways, that is pretty much it for me. There's not much else to say here, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So this is Mr. MCA, wishing you a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.